If you could ask God for one spiritual gift, what gift would you ask for? This is Father Mark Toups over at Christ the Redeemer Catholic Church, continuing our conversation about how we can choose to live prayerfully. And when I first asked that question, the answer that rose from my heart was pretty quick and immediate. I would ask for the ability to hear God's voice on a daily basis. For some reason, I've just carried that in my heart for a desire for a long time. I just thought if I could hear God speak to me, not only in prayer, but out of prayer, then I would have direction and I wouldn't feel so lost like I feel sometimes. As I have grown in my spiritual life, as I have grown in my ability to hear the Lord, I've recognized that there are some things that have been helpful along the way. And I want to share those with you today. Yesterday, we talked about how in the third step of Lectio Divina, we share our heart with the Lord, right? We speak to the Lord. And I did mention that that's a two-way street, right? Not only do we speak to the Lord, but he speaks back to us. And, for some of us, I think even the concept of actually hearing God's voice can seem rather intimidating or overly mystical, you might say. But I want to encourage you today with the fact that God does reveal himself to us on a daily basis. So how is it that we hear God speak to us? Well, again, there's no hard and fast rule. It's always going to be like this or always going to be like that. Let me just share with you some things that I have learned. Number one, sometimes I recognize God speaking to me through my thoughts. Every one of us is familiar with the thoughts that we are conscious that we are generating, you might say. We're driving the thought. I got up this morning and I wanted some breakfast and I was going to eat breakfast and grab some coffee and I was going to do this and do that. And I'm aware that those thoughts are going through my mind and I'm the one who is the source. I'm the one who's driving the thought. And sometimes a thought will come to me and I'm not really the one that's initiating it or producing it. It's just a thought that quote unquote just comes to me. Now, if what accompanies that thought is a sense of peace or something that brings me closer to the Lord, then chances are that that thought came from God. In other words, he's speaking to me through that thought. Sometimes it's a memory. God has said things to me in the past through the Bible. God has said things to me in the past through other people. I just knew it was him speaking to me. And sometimes as I say something to God, I don't hear a booming voice back, but I'm reminded of something that happened in the past. And it's in the memory that God is lifting up that he's speaking to me. Sometimes, and this is just me, I have a great affection for praying with the Bible, but I feel quote unquote led to reread a part of Scripture, or I feel led to find a Scripture passage that I've never seen before. Sometimes actually God speaks back to me through us, through the words that he has already said in the Bible. Sometimes it could be a song that comes out of nowhere. Sometimes it's actually through another person. Or sometimes it's just through physiologically a feeling that we feel in our body. There are a lot of ways that God speaks to us. And the important thing as you and I are trying to sensitize our interior life to God speaking to us is to just grow in awareness of what's happening inside our hearts. The more aware we are, then the more attuned we are to hearing God speak to us. The encouragement is just to pay attention. As we're waiting in patience, which is what we talked about yesterday, may I encourage us in the patience to just pay attention to what's stirring within us. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? What is it that we want? And the more that we are able to notice what's stirring within us, the more that we'll notice that in those things, God is speaking to us. Come on back tomorrow as we wrap up the process of Lectio Divina, sharing with you the fourth step, which is the resting in God peace, and some further encouragements around our prayer. Enjoy your prayer tonight. Let the Lord speak to you as you pay attention to what stirs within. And until our conversation unfolds tomorrow, God bless you.